Hey guys, Roadrunner here. So I wanted to show off real quick my rail wall. This is stuff that either pertains to me on the railroad or being a hobo, or it's railroad and hobo related stuff that people have sent me. And it's on this wall and the wall over here as well, here in my dining room. And I wanted to show you guys this because there's a lot of history with this I think people will like. So first off, we have Steam Train Maury. He's a 5-time hobo king. I should say. He died in 2006. He rode in the Great Depression era. He ended up settling down in the, I think, mid or late 30s. And then in the 60s and 70s, he came back to railroading and hoboing and ended up officially retiring in the early 80s. Here to the left, this is a list of the hobo code ethnics. I'm not going to read them right now. Next to it, I have a page of hobo signs and symbols. This isn't all of it, but this is a good portion of it, and most of this I can remember off the top of my head. The bottom two pictures right here are the ones I like the most. This is Minneapolis Jules. She's a 5-time hobo queen that lives in Minneapolis, hence the name. And here to the left, we have Crazy Cooter, we got Brooke, and we got me. This was 2018. This was the last time I actually seen Brooke in person. Last I heard, I think she was in California. This one to the left is 2 paintings done by Norman Rockwell. These were for the Saturday Evening Post. You have 2 different hobos. One's cooking a couple of wieners over a hobo stove with a bindle over here. And we got another hobo with his bindle right here. I don't know, maybe he's thinking of getting some work here, or maybe he's thinking of stealing that saw. Who knows? This one right here is a report problem or emergency sign for Union Pacific Railroad. I have it because of the name, and I actually did not steal this. I found this in a dumpster over at the UP Freight Yard here in Lufkin. Above this, we have the Alaskan Railroad, one of the very few passenger services left in the United States, and the only one outside of the lower 48. And above that, I have a postcard, a homemade one given to me by the Flying Dutchman himself. For those who don't know, the Flying Dutchman was our previous hobo king from 2018 to 2019. Very, very lovable, respectable man. I like him. Above here, we have the Texas Pacific Railroad shirt I got. I got that and from a friend of mine in Jefferson, who runs the train modeling store over there. Over here we have a Frisco Railroad deck of playing cards, and laying below it is a postcard given to me from Four Winds and her husband, the Czech hobo, who's a former hobo king, and it's the Santa Fe Railroad with their F units and the war bonnet colors. Over here, climb up here real quick. I have my Texas State Railroad hat and my Union Pacific work glove, one of them. I don't know where the other one's at. Above it, this one I like really much. This is from Kelties. Kelties is actually a part of Lufkin. Actually, where I live is technically the boundary line of Kelties and Lufkin. Kelties was its own town until Lufkin took over. But this was the train station for Angelina and Neches River Railroad, which is our local Class 3 rail company here. One of the oldest original rail companies here in Angelina County. Over here we have, these are from, I think, if I remember correctly, these are from calendars. These were sent to me from a friend of mine named Half Track. She's a former hobo queen herself a couple of times. Matter of fact, her daughter is the last hobo queen who was with the Flying Dutchman from 2018 to 2019. These two are just paintings, I'm assuming. Yeah, paintings. This one's of a company I don't know. It's DWP Railroad. I don't know anything about them. as well as this one. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name. And then we got another one here of the So line, which is a Class 2 rail company now, very old company. Over here are some pictures that I've taken. This is the Angelina Neches River's old caboose. This one they used for storage, but there's actually pictures online of them actually using this caboose. As far as I know, I'm probably the only one who actually has a picture of the caboose and its current state, and it's only being used for storage right now. I actually would love to buy this caboose if I can. I'll put that in the backyard. Down below is a picture of Unit 1500 of A&R. It's one of the 3 or 4 engines that they have currently, and it's one of the only 2 that actually works. I think the other 2, their batteries or whatever, are done. And this is their current caboose that they're using right now, that they use for shuffling. And then this one down here is a picture I took in 2016 of a Southern Pacific unit. And if you look right up front, it's painted yellow right here. That's because when Union Pacific took over SP, they kept some of the SP units in their original color, but they put a yellow up ahead, I guess, to tell the difference between the two. We have Texas and Southeastern Railroad. This is Unit 1007, if I can read that correctly. I don't think I think I've said this before. I don't think Texas Southeastern is actually around anymore because, if I remember correctly, they got bought out by R.J. Coleman. And if you look right here, it's kind of hard to tell. You can actually see it better right here. Well, no, you can't. It's too blurry right there. But anyways, they have the Temple Inland symbol on it because Temple Inland was the original owners of Texas Southeastern. This picture is taken in I want to say this was taken in 63 or 65, somewhere around there, because they did a public day or whatever where they were letting school kids and such, ride their trains from Diboll to Lufkin on the old PB switch line, which is now gone. And then this one is another unit of theirs. That one I want to say was taken in the late 90s, early 2000s, if I remember correctly. And then down here is Angelina County Lumber Company. I don't know anything about them. I just happened to find that picture and I thought it was cool. Right here we have a painting done by a friend of mine. This is the last passenger station we had here in Lufkin. It was officially shut down in 1955, and the people at the time thought it was a quote-unquote eyesore, which is stupid to me, and they ended up tearing it down. But a lot of people don't know this. Right here, in 1949 or 1950, they extended it this way and they added a restaurant to the station. And if you go to Nacogdoches and you go look at their train station, it's actually the same architect. The same guy who made this, or the same guy who made the Nacogdoches station, is the same one who did this station. Same design and everything. So if you go to Nacogdoches Station, you're I guess you could say you're technically looking at the Lufkin Station too, which I think is pretty cool. And if you go to Orange, Texas, their station there is similar, but theirs, even though it has everything you see here, it's actually made out of wood, not brick. And they tore this one down 1960, 1961, about the same time they tore the Diboll Station down too. To the left of it over here is a Houston East and West Texas Railroad, which was later taken over by Southern Pacific. And it's supposed to be behind the engine here, but he didn't put it in. There was supposed to be another station right here that would have been the Railroad Express Agency. They had their station right next door. Then down the road was the Cotton Boat Station, and across the track was the freight station, which got torn down in 98, 2 years after UP took over Southern Pacific. Matter of fact, let's see, that's the original station right here. This one got blown up by dynamite. This was sitting where our freight station was sitting until they tore that down. Here is a older picture of the passenger station, and then this is Diboll, Texas, right here. And then last but not least, this right here is a big history for me, at least. This is one of my really, really old bandanas. I've been wearing this one since about the same time I got Xena back in early 2017. So I'm still working on this. There's a piece I'm trying to get in from one of the antique stores. It's gonna go right here, and I'm trying to complete everything from. I'm basically trying to add a lot of the railroads either that I rode or that was local to Lufkin history, and then I'm trying to get a bunch of hobo related stuff, whether pictures I took or, you know, anything related to railroad history and hobo history. It's gonna go all over this wall, and then it'll probably extend through the rest of the kitchen over here. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked this.